Hello and welcome back to the Kerbal Space Program. My name is Dadman, but you already know that. Hell, I haven't used the actual intro to the Let's Play episodes in a while. Yeah, this is KSP 1.4.1 with the Making History expansion. As you see, mission builder and stuff. As you see, stock missions are a thing. We are going to play through those on stream eventually. Right now, mission tutorial. Yeah, thanks. I'm not going to look at that. It's probably pretty self-explanatory. Anyway, what we are going to do is we're going to go back into the 1.4 hype save. And we're going to have a look at all the new stuff. Oh, hi. Repair? What? Oh, can you just... Oh, come on. I'm not going to do that right now. Fuck you. It's actually faster to make a new save. Sorry. His story. Wait. His story hype. How about that? Sandbox, my flag, and everything else can stay. Fine. Okay. So let's have a look at the new parts. First of all, there's of course new capsules. One would be this one. This is a, as you see, one man capsule. Also, you can now change suits, which is cool. This is the two-man variant, and this is the three-man variant. Neither of these, like, I'm just going to put people in there and we're going to look at the interiors. Oh, also, yeah, new launch pads. There is the normal launch pad and the Boomerang launch pad. I'm going to go ahead and launch from the Boomerang launch pad real quick. Just to show you. Not that we're actually gonna launch though. It's also night here. So this is a launch pad in the middle of nowhere. In the middle of mountains. As you see, these three pods have the same size. Also, they apparently have inbuilt decouplers. That's interesting. Cool. So yeah, this is the one-man capsule from the inside. Looks really Russian. Like, looks a lot like the Soyuz capsules. If we switch over, that's the three-man capsule right there. If we view there from inside, that is pretty cramped. Pretty Soyuz. And the other one would be this one. View from the inside. That's the two-man capsule. Also pretty cramped. Yeah. Looks cool though. Of course, these apparently do not have any form of SAS. Oops, I didn't want a time warp, I wanted to switch. Like any sort of actual reaction wheels inside. So that's nice. Going to recover this. And then I'm going to show you where that launch pad actually is on the map. since we are going to have to recover the rest to get our people back. As you see, that's up here, which is very much probably inspired by the Russian Cosmodrome in Baikonur in Kazakhstan. Also, you can actually see the launch sites now. There's KC, there's the Boomerang launch site over here, and there's the island runway, which you can also run start stuff from now, which is cool. For that, you'd of course need to be over in the editor here, and you can go here, island runway, and do that. But we're just going to switch back here. Keep the launch pad. So yeah, this thing has its interior fixed. We can now see that. Then we have the Mark II command pod, which looks pretty... I don't know which one that actually is. Look. One of them is the Mercury, one is the Gemini capsule. Design-wise. That's of course the old Mark I. And then we've got the Lunar Excursion Module. You can think what this is. This also has inbuilt RCS. This is of course the Moon Lander module. So we can now build actual Apollo missions and stuff. I think that's all the new pods. Yep, pretty much. Get those back off. Fuel tanks. Now, first of all, we of course have new adapters. That's to pretty much, yeah. And the whole thing with the also looks cool. The whole thing with the patterns is still a thing over all of these. You can just click this and see it in the window here, though. That's also a nice adapter. This one is also an adapter. This is more Soyuz related. So if we were to like, oh yeah, those also have different things. Can have this either be the yellow and white that we are used to for RCS and KSP, or we have just this. Fuel tanks, those are, there's like one something between the big and the small ones, pretty much. Then we've got, and you might recognize that, that's really, really big. In fact, if we look, this is the SLS part, right? That's Space Launch System. Yeah, that's the Kerbal 9S3. That wasn't it. That is an adapter for that, to put multiple engines under it, which would work kind of like if we were going to go ahead and say, let's take mainsails game. Does this have the toggle that I want? No. Cool. The fuel delivery overlay, that's cool. That's new. Don't know if that's 1.4 or the new thing, though. Now, don't know which part that is. Oh, I think Don't know if that works for these, but yeah, probably doesn't. But for the new ones, this should work. I don't know how you do that. There is a way to switch things up like this. Oh, probably just the same way you do it with the other. Yeah. But that isn't a thing with the old engines. We could also use these, but those still have the plate. We can use these. The skiff. Don't think that that has enough delta veto or thrust to weight. Those are actually the engines of the boosters of these. If we were to, can you just attach that here? Use this shroud. That's pretty much what the boosters of the Soyuz rocket look like. Those are jet engines. Excuse me. Okay. I myself don't know which ones are which yet. That looks nice. I think that's though the second stage module of the actual thing. That looks a lot more like a module I want under my big rocket. Can really put that in there. Put that there. Frick. Okay, yeah, those are the new engines. I think we went through all of them. Then parts that are remaining. If you see, that's actually, if you look, not the adapter to these parts. These are actually not the SLS parts. The SLS parts are these. No. Where are the SLS parts? S4. Wait. And what's with the S3? There we go. That's the SLS part. Like, also there should be an adapter for that. That's not it. That's not it. I can't find that now, though. Yeah, I just clicked the wrong part. Those are actually the SLS parts. So these are a whole number bigger. Never mind my talking from earlier. And of course there's now between... Wait, those are the Rockomax tanks. Those are the old orange tanks. They still have the orange thing. Just need to... You can also make all the other parts there orange. Monopropellant tanks, xenon tanks, those are from the 1.4 update. Yeah, I think we are all through the tanks as well. What we don't have is reaction wheels of that size still, so yeah. What we do have though is new structural panels with a lot of attachment nodes and in a lot of sizes, and they also come in lots of colors. As you see. Structural fuselage. Structural tube. Huh. Interesting. Bigger fuselage part, so to say. Yeah, those are going up all the way till the big parts. The really big parts. Can you actually adjust these? No, but you can. Oh yeah, you can. These are adjustable. Cool. Yeah, and the adapters that already were in. For decoupling, we've got the engine plate, which is now an easy way to do something like, I don't know, this. Excuse me. Okay, that doesn't work with this. Also doesn't work with this. Why? Because I have this the wrong way around? Really quickly build something down here on this. So what this should be able to do is, without any attachment nodes, attach these. Is that bugged? Why are you doing that? Game? Why does this not work with the... Why is this stupid? Okay, it works with these. With the new engines. With all of them. What doesn't work is the old engines. Really? Like, seriously? Are you kidding me? Why does this not work with the old engines? That's pretty dumb. I mean, it works with these, cause stupid. Practically, you can do something like this. And then imagine that with actual engines. And then do a decoupler. Where's the I clicked out of the game. Where's the coupling? Decoupler. Oh yeah. That's the small one. That's the medium one. That's that one. That's the right size. And then you can do this. And you can also, I think, adjust this length. Oh wait, that's that. Yeah, you can adjust this length to make it more suitable. Like this. Then this would go off entirely and do this. Yeah, I don't know why the bigger ones don't work. Those are the stack decouplers. Okay, there's big decouplers for the parts that are actually the size of the Saturn. 1.5 times size decoupler? What? Size 1.5 decoupler. Why? What the hell? This is weird. Okay, that's a different decoupler for some reason. That can also be orange. Then we've got the inflatable airlock. Which pretty much... Excuse me. Does this. So that's a extendable docking port. Yeah, all the rest is actually has been in. Yeah, the engine plates Don't know. Do the big ones work better? Or does that still not work with the... Yeah, it doesn't work with any of the old ones. It only works with the... Doesn't even work with the new ones. Does it break it if I... Oh, there we go. That works. It doesn't even work with all new ones. It just doesn't work at all with the old ones. Yeah, as you see, this is a bit weird. That's really weird. I can also make double nodes, which makes this a whole lot easier. Triple, 4 plus 1, quad, 6 plus 1. Just make it enough nodes and you can actually still do this. So, you can change the node number. You can also use it the way I tried to use it earlier and just do this. But, yeah. That's just not the intended use, apparently. That's not how I understand the engine plate, but it's fine. Payload, we've got, of course, as we know, there's the different colors for these. The Russian color, that's more NASA, I guess, and that's completely white. So there is no old style anymore. There is fairings in all sizes, so you can totally do an incredibly huge one. Clamshell is still a thing, so that's cool. You can also still use these as interstages. Service module. Oh, cool. Oh, also you can now configure vessel naming before you start. So you can change the parts of each individual stage. Like if you have an extra node like core on your boosters to fly them back because you're playing frickin' SpaceX style mission. That's the old one. Then that's also old. So yeah, those three things here are new. Then you can set the boosters to also already be named boosters before you launch, which is pretty neat. Don't think we have any new aerodynamics, which means you still need to adapt your way all the way up to this nose cone if you want a nose cone. We do have one new wheel, which is this. This is inspired by the moon rover of the NASA Apollo missions. Has two different variants of color. And then we're it actually. Except that they, of course, made an incredibly huge heat shield. So this thing is about as big as the inflatable. God, if you go ahead and inflate this. Oh. This is about half the size. Wait, this is what, 3.75? Yeah. So up until now, this was our biggest. The 2.5 meter. But yeah. Inflatable one's still there, it's still bigger. Electrical, we don't have anything new here. That's the same old stuff. Same for communications. Same for science, I think. Yeah, that's still the same. And in utility, we also don't really have anything new, do we? Yeah, those are still the same. So that's it for parts. I'm gonna go ahead and just add these here and actually launch this thing. What I'm also gonna do is put a freaking adapter in here. Structural should actually be the right part. Do we have adapters for this? Yeah. And then we're gonna go ahead and say put a decoupler here. Nah, that's not the one. That's not the one. That's not the one. That's the one. And a parachute on top would probably be a good idea. We don't want all of this to start in the same thing. So this parachute goes last. This goes here. And I should probably make these detachable. So heck, just use the hydraulics. So yeah, first this, then this, and then everything should be fine. Do these have... Yes, they do. Good. So we have solids in here that should fire when this fires, because that should... yeah, they have Sapatrons inbuilt. See? Cool. So yeah, we're going to just launch this Saturn freaking Soyuz hybrid and see how that works. Of course, I don't have the updated version of Kerbal Engineer yet, because Kerbal Engineer I don't think is updated yet. So also you can now actually view the IVA of the Apollo pod. This was for some reason first bundled with the DLC, and they fixed that in the 1.4.1 update. So now everything is fine and where it should be. SAS on, and in 3, 2, 1, launch. That flies. Alright. Also, I like that thing here looks like a frickin', I don't know, like a burner lance from a frickin', I don't know, like, you know, torch, blowtorch. Real, like, what was the thing, the mod? For the realistic plumes. Real plumes, I think. That's definitely gonna be something that I'll have on there again. Look at that gimbal. So yeah. And if we do this now, you should be able to see a nice Coriolis cross as soon as we stage these engines. It's weird not having your screen cluttered up by Kerbal Engineer and Kerbal Alarm Clock. This works well. Also, game's still running at like 80 FPS, which is pretty nice. So yeah, as you see, that works pretty fine. As you also know, this has inbuilt RCS. We can just do this. We're slowing down. doesn't do anything forward or backward, so we still need to attach thrusters for that. But yeah, other than this, this is really cool. We're going to time warp a bit. 100 FPS, by the way, in case you're wondering about the performance. RCS off, actually hold retrograde. It's weird not having scatter and environmental visual enhancements as well. This should only open either way if safe, yeah. So I can just stage this. And it's gonna open as soon as we're slow enough. If we actually get slow enough, that is. But we should. There's nothing stopping us from getting slow. There, slow enough. Let's see if they fix the buoyancy of this thing. Or changed. Because that looked a little bit too buoyant when I first played 1.4. Come on, faster. 8 meters a second should be fine. Yeah. And the buoyancy actually is still really high. I'm actually surprised how freaking incredibly high the buoyancy of this thing is. Like, this is unrealistically high. Also, it still does the same physics thing. I don't know. See for yourself if you find that good. Either way, so that's that. That's pretty much it for the parts. And that's pretty much that. So we're gonna get out of the safe and we're gonna have a look at a bit of the scenarios here. Play missions. So this community created, we can just download these. So that's cool. Stock missions. That's from the beginner tutorial on over the intermediate tutorial. Then Dawn of Space Age. Trouble in the Void. What's that? Made it to orbit in the Valska 2 on one of our first crewed missions, but something's about to go terribly wrong. Oh. Electrical failure, engines down. Run vitals on crew. Board something else. Prepared for reboot. Land, okay. Nice. To the moon via Minmus. Orbit of Kerbal 100k. Release mystery goo. Orbit Minmus 10k. Gravity scan. Crash Muna 1 into Minmus. Radiation damage. Mission failed. Oh. Can you have a look at that more in depth? Either way. Ouch. Just remember to stage while in Kerbin's orbit just below 100 kilometers to let it go, let it go. Nice Frozen reference. Meet me in 0G, that's pretty much docking, right? Yeah. Next mission is purely research along with back to the moon, release. Okay. Okay. Acapello 15. But Build a vessel capable of taking the rover to Minmus and bring back the precious load on Okay. So land on Minmus, go to digging point, extract ore, go to next digging zone. Repeat, I guess. Go to Valentina, rescue the Kerbal, land in designated area. Cool. Interesting. We're going to have a look at these on actually going when we're actually going to do missions. These can have trophies and achievements. I just double-clicked one and it started it. So we're just going to have a look at that real quick. Create mission vessel. Build the starting vessel to start the mission. Okay. So what we need is the vessel can't exceed 61 tons, and vessel requires these parts: mystery goo, and needs to be able to go to frigging Moon or what? Yeah. So that's pretty much what you're doing there. You're gonna take the Probodobodyne Hex and then build something that can take us over there with all of these parts. That's interesting. That's really, really interesting. Oh, and the required parts are actually blue. That's cool. So yeah, as I said, we're going to do this eventually, not right now, because I actually have limited time. And of course, we're gonna have a look at the mission builder itself. So here you can change starting funds, change the score, and stuff. You have a start node. You can spawn a vessel at the launch pad, for instance, and then do a whole lot of stuff here. We're going to have a look at this in depth eventually, but I'll actually have to look at the documentation for this to make any sort of sense here, because all of this is not going to be incredibly easy to come by. So yeah, but essentially you have nodes, you can do new nodes, and from there, for instance, from the start node to this, excuse me, you can go to another node if you... Can you... Okay, as I said, I haven't looked into this, and it's not going to be something I explore deeply in this video, because yeah, that's gonna take a lot of thinking and actual practice with this thing. We're eventually going to do this on stream though. So yeah, that's that. That's the Making History expansion. That part right there is probably the biggest part of it, and we're going to play a whole lot of player-made missions after we've done the stock missions. And yeah, in general, I'm if I get the time to actually look into the documentation for the mission builder, I am also going to try making my own missions, because this well, that's gonna take time though. So yeah, either way, of course we get the sandcastle right now. The only reason I clicked back there is because I thought we might get the sandcastle, Because I've never had this on a video in over 500 episodes. That's nice. I also like that Easter egg is still in. Either way, this is it for my first look at the Making History expansion of Kerbal Space Program. I will see you for more Kerbal Space Program on stream. I will see you for more of this version on stream after we're done with the current save. And of course I want to 1, do the missions, and 2, do my fully reusable career. So either way, I'll see you for any of that in the future. Till then, leave a like if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and until next time, I'm WW Dadman. Bye.